Alright, so sorry I'm late on making the video, but life happens. So, first thing I want to say is that, trade workers, we deal with so fucking much that, people just don't get. They have no idea. It's not retail, okay? It's just not. So, I guess we're going to get right into it. First of all, handcuffs on average are like mediocre calls. They're not particularly worth a lot. They're not particularly very funny. And for locksmiths, the level of BS that comes out of it is usually a lot more often than what it's worth. Like 9 times out of 10, it's going to be an uncomfortable situation at best. And like, there's just a lot that can go sideways on you. Now, the story I have for everybody today is actually worse than handcuffs, unfortunately. So, I live in a medium sized town. I don't like driving in big cities, but I get a call one day to go out to a little mini mansion. Nice little 6-7 bedroom mini mansion, kind of on the outskirts of town. And at this point in time, I was working for a company that had mixed calls, so I didn't get a lot of any particular type of call. But at night, especially towards the end of the week, you get this call a lot. It says home lockout, HLO, bedroom, other. Other is the part that makes it here we go. So I pull up to the mini mansion, knock on the front door, and dude answers the door with his little boxer shorts on, and he's not wearing anything else. He's got tattoos, head to toe, face included. Okay, hey, money's money, customers. I don't judge. If you've got money and your work is legal, I'll be right there. So he turns around, he motions like this, follow me. So I start walking through the house, and I don't know this person. So we're especially working at night, you always have to be careful. So I start following the dude, and as I'm doing that, I notice that he doesn't have any photos in his house of him. There's plenty of photos of the family that lives there. He ain't in it. He ain't in the photographs. So I'm already a little bit extra cautious about this. So we walk into the bedroom, and there's a huge white comforter, kind of looked like the top of an ice cream cone. And out of the top is this cute little Latina girl. Just smiling out of the top of this comforter, looking like a cherry on top of a fucking sundae, right? So I didn't even see her until he pointed at her and she said hi, which it scared me a lot. Her head was tiny, big ass, I don't know. Anyway, so I jump a little bit and I look at him and I look at her and I look at him back, and I was like, handcuffs? Because at this point, I'm crossing my fingers. I'm like, please be handcuffs. Please be handcuffs. And he looks at me and he's like, no, not exactly. So he grabs the comforter and rips the comforter off. And that's when I saw it's a fucking chastity belt. Okay. Number one, chastity belts are not difficult to get into. I've unlocked several, and 9 times out of 10, almost always, they are the most bullshit lock in the world. A child's diary is arguably better locks than most of these chastity belts. But then again, I've probably only unlocked 6 or 7 in the last 7 or 8 years. I don't know, something like that. Not a whole lot, but they're definitely more interesting calls than handcuffs. She was wearing a bra. Thanks for that. And I just kind of facepalm a little bit, so the dude asked me, he's like, how much? And, he's very excited, obviously. Good for you, guy. So I just kind of sigh, and I look at him, I was like, $600. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, I would never charge a legitimate call $600 to unlock much of anything at night, even. It's just, that's a little bit outside of what's reasonable pricing in most areas. But what made me pick that number is that's the fuck you price. I'm probably getting demonetized. I don't know how YouTube works, and I'm not really big on censorship, but I don't really give a shit, so it's whatever. But so he hits the roof. He's like, $600. And I'm like, yeah, man, $600. The woman hits the roof. Now things are getting more interesting. And she picks up her phone. She's like, you're not gonna pay him? And he starts like getting visibly worked up. And he's like pacing in front of the bed, going back and fucking forth, and and he's like, $600. Why is it $600? And I told him, I was like, look, family, I walked in here and I saw all these photographs of the family. She was in them. You weren't. So I gotta tell you, I don't really have a lot of respect for what you're doing here. It's pretty obvious that we all know what's going on here. And if you want me to be a part of it, I'm going to feel bad when I'm done. So if I'm going to feel bad, I'm going to leave here and I'm going to wipe my tears with $100 bills. And that's just how I feel about that. So he asked me, he's like, so this is, he said it in different words. He was like, this is the fuck you price. And I was like, yeah, this is the fuck you price. Like, I don't care. Like, you send me away, I don't care. But if you want me to enable this for you, like, it's $600. And there's more to that. Don't worry, there's more. So she picks up her phone. She's calling him a cheap motherfucker, and she's going through her phone records, I guess, with him. Like, presumably it was him texting her. And she's like, scroll, baby, I want you so much. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I'm gonna tear it up. Blah, 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 blah. And she's like, and now we've been waiting forever. We've been planning this. And now here, you won't pull the trigger. You don't want it. And he looks at me. He's like, you two are trying to hustle me. And I'm like, bro, I don't fucking know you. I don't know her. You're just a name, a phone number, and an address, and a whole bunch of money waiting to be made. Like, I don't have a dog in this fight. Like, I don't. So she gets more and more upset. So finally she tells him, if you don't pay, I'm going to send you out and I'll fuck the locksmith. And I was like, whoa, time out. Like, no. Like, it doesn't matter. She could be so hot. I could have been so single. I wasn't. But even if I was, like, I'm never putting my license on the line there, like, with that, ever. Like, that is such an ethical no-no. Like, you don't screw customers. This is not a thing. You don't do that. It's such bad juju, and I'm not looking for any kind of smoke like that. Just, no. It's never gonna happen. So, dude whips out from his little, boxer shorts, or maybe I don't know, but he had a pocket. So he whips out like $5,000 out of his pocket. Not the most amount of money I've ever seen somebody pull out of their pocket. You see some wild shit in this job. You really do. Oh my God. But so he begrudgingly pays me the $600. I stuck like a pen cap or something into this lock and twisted. Like, they're really that easy to unlock most of the time. And I grabbed the money and I left as fast as possible. Like, I just did. Now, what makes this situation even worse is, like, 3 months later, I get a dispatch request to the exact same address, but it's not the same name. It's at a reasonable time of day, and it's to rekey the whole house. So I call it up, and I'm like, hey, what's going on with this rekey? What's the story? It's a realtor, and she's selling the house with power of attorney from the husband of the wife. Yeah. So I call those twofers, like, frequent flyer program, people who call, like, there's some people, I unlock them twice a week. I have remotes to their cars because they lock themselves out so often. Like, they'd rather spend $100 a month having me unlock them on repeat than buy a spare key. I don't know. Look, it's money. So, but no, like, I've rolled up on meth labs. I've come in after murders, assaults, domestic violence. Like, I've worked crime scenes. I've, opened up doors to burning buildings. Like, it, I don't even have a decade in this trade. Like, I swear to you guys, like, this is some wild stuff. Like, I could go on for days with stories. But I've actually been considering doing content like this, like, and maybe like sharing some of the calls that I get, because some of them are just so ridiculous. Like, you wouldn't believe it. But yeah, I think that was my most wild, like, handcuff or weird call in that category. Like, yeah. But oh, there's more. Like, I have so many more crazy stories, and if people really like the stories, I mean, I'll probably get a better camera. I'm just casually recording a video right now, but I don't have editing skills or whatever. But I said I would say the story, and that's the story. And if people really like it, like, I need people to, like, let me know to actually put some more effort into this, because I don't really do the whole YouTube, like, the only thing I would like to splice into this video is that Peter Griffin thing where it's like, please pay attention to me, because that's how I feel like the majority of people on social media are. But yeah, if you guys want some more stories, like, I can get you some more stories, like, or get you some calls. I got a funny one that happened up in Dallas a couple years ago that I got the phone recording from. That was the yeah. Anyway, if you want more content like this, leave comments or do whatever the fuck, like, lets me know that that's important to people or whatever. And other than that, like, just let me know what y'all want, and I'll talk about it. Anything locksmith related that's, like, not too personal, about my life or my family's life, like, that's fine. But have a good one, and stay safe and stay legal. Bye.